Hi friends, we're having a lovely day today. Welcome back to another video. Today is very special. I am talking with somebody who I've been trying to have a conversation with for a very long time. She lives in the city I used to live in. Her name is Katie Fenske. And say hello, Katie.
Hi.
Hi. uh, this is her debut on a video, so
Good.
she's getting used to the climate and everything that is happening. But so Katie is a very has a very interesting style of photography and a very interesting focus for photography. And I like to think that so first of all, this is a channel about street photography, but I I the reason I have Katie on here is because I think art inspires art. I think all art inspires all art. So I think that her style and the way that she approaches photography in this very interesting way is interesting. So therefore, what I like about your photography, Katie, is you have to have very strong fundamentals to be able to pull this type of photography off. It's very unique, and I want to ask you what would you call your genre of photography? Is it definable for you?
I've honestly never really thought about it. I think of it as intimate,
Mm-hmm.
um, but but no, I've never really thought about it in any
Yeah.
kind of real specific terms. I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
I just
Um, I think that's fine. I think that that just means that you're obsessed with the photography part of it. You don't care about naming the,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah,
I think I I hear you. I think it's interesting you say intimate. I also think that there's a bit of it's very playful and explorative, and I think
yes,
that's cool. And the way I've been kind of thinking about this, the way I would kind of describe it is this sort of like suburban exploration type thing. This
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Well, there's definitely. I mean, I'm definitely exploring when I take the pictures. At this
Hmm.
point, I've explored so much of Greenville and the neighboring towns that it's not so much exploring as revisiting at this point and just kind of seeing how things have changed or what they look like in a different light or
Hmm.
different seasons and that kind of thing. Or just revisiting, like old friends almost because some of the places I'm kind of attached to, but. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So you say it's intimate. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's just kind of like I was talking to a friend last night about it and just saying that sometimes I feel like even though they're places, they seem kind of like self-portraits. They're just kind of an expression of how I'm feeling at the time because sometimes they seem kind of sad um, eh, and I'm always looking for like despondency and just real quiet kind of places and I describe I mean I would attribute those qualities to me at times especially this past year but um so so in that way they're intimate and just that they're kind of just a reflection of me personally
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm. So how did you get into photography at all? I mean, how did you find your way into this world?
Well, I was always interested, digital cameras came out and it was really easy to take pictures, on like the little, what were they, Canon one shot? I don't remember what they were called, but power shots.
Power shots. Yeah.
Yeah. I had one of those, but that was just kind of for fun. And then I had my little girl 6.5 years ago and I wanted pictures of her, but I wanted good quality pictures of her, but I couldn't afford to hire a photographer every time I wanted a picture of her, and I wanted just the everyday moments. You don't hire a photographer. Well, I would love for somebody to hire me for that, but it's just not something that is. I don't have gobs of money to
Oh,
be
you don't have
hiring.
a
So
photographer
anyway,
following you around all the time?
no,
No. Oh,
I don't.
interesting.
I mean, but so anyway, long story short, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to be the photographer, and so my family, everybody chipped in and bought me a Canon Rebel, and so I just my poor child. It might be one of the most photographed people in the world. Um, and so from that, people started seeing her pictures and wanted me to take pictures of them and their families. And so after a while, after a while, I decided to get into Instagram because I wanted to see if I could take landscapes, and I felt like that was just sort of like a fun little way to try it out. And so, after that, and then the pictures that I do on my Katie Fenske account on Instagram I kind of blame those on Will Crooks because I was going out to meet him. He was the first photographer I ever met because of Instagram. And we went out shooting, and I felt like I would probably look like a huge tool if I just showed up with just my phone. So I took my camera with me. I took my camera with me and took pictures like I would have taken them with my phone. And I enjoyed the difference, and it sort of became. So anyway, that's a really long, rambling answer, but
no, not at all. This video is about your ramblings.
Okay.
You don't get to do that much in life. This is a safe place.
No. I appreciate anybody who sticks with us to the end. I appreciate you.
It's very intriguing. I mean, honestly.
Well, good.
Yeah. So how did you?
Did I answer your question?
Yeah. No, that's absolutely. How did you get into this? How did you? Because most photographer. I don't know why I say photography that way. I'll start anyway. So maybe I'm channeling my inner Japanese tourist. But anyway, so how did you get into the specific type of photography? Because a lot of people who will start with the I want to take photos of my kids, and that quickly develops into either nothing, or I'm going to go outside and take some pictures of flowers in the sky and put some bad HDR effects on it, or either I'm going to pursue, wedding photography. You decided to take pictures of trailers. Why is that?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I started, for a long time, I was unhappy with Greenville, with living in Greenville. I've lived in Greenville my entire life. I was bored, and I was just kind of like, ugh, Greenville, And then I was like, Greenville, there's more to it than meets the eye. And my brother Michael and I were talking one day about the hashtag for Greenville being that Greenville, and neither one of us like it. We think it sounds kind of I don't know, kind of uppity.
Yeah.
And so he was like, and he used to be a code enforcer for the county, and he had shown me some pictures he'd taken of these places that were really run down, and these were the places he had to go to. And I was just really intrigued by him, and he said something about, this Greenville. And I realized that, that was dead on. There's a lot of places, and I was just really interested in the Greenville that I saw every day. And so I just started documenting it. And just anything that was quirky or just had interesting light falling on it at the time, or, I just wanted to show a side of Greenville that was more relatable, or that felt more like something I was comfortable with. Because I think Greenville is a lot more than just that slick downtown, the bridge, the Liberty Falls Bridge and all that. I just, there's more to Greenville than that. And so I just wanted to document it for just my own reasons,
Awesome. And, how did you, so who are some photographers who have kind of inspired you in this process?
I don't pay attention to. I pay attention to other photographers on Instagram. Wynton Sabatini is. I love Wynton Sabatini.
Yeah, I did a video on him before. I think I can't remember if he told me you saw it or not, but yeah, fantastic stuff.
Oh, I need to check that out. I just love him. I drove all the way up to Asheville to a gallery because Will Crooks told me that there's a print of his in the gallery up in Asheville at Blue Spiral, and found out that there were actually like I think 5 prints, and I went up there just so I could see them. I'm like, well, this is probably the closest I'll ever get to meeting him or something. But anyway, I really love his work. His work is so tender, and I just really appreciate his style. But as
Mm,
far as sometimes people will say Eggleston to me, and I know who he is, and I know enough of his work to kind of, I know he was like a pioneer of color photography and stuff, but I really don't follow a lot of the photographers. Like some people will say that my work reminds them of somebody, and I always have to Google it because I don't know what they're talking about. But I'm always delighted. I realize that it's a compliment when they do that. But I'm really uneducated as far as other photographers go. I'm sure I'm not talking about people that I would like to mention, but Whit and Sabatini is the one who comes to mind immediately.
sure, sure. And very quickly, I just wanted to, for everybody who is actually watching this, you're mentioning all eight. You're mentioning Will Crooks a lot. Will
Yeah,
he used to make videos with me on here, and he is a fantastic street style photographer from the same
yes.
town as her, and from where I used to be as well, because we all used to live in the same place. So that's Will, and you should check him out. And I'm gonna link below to him. Okay, so so
Plug for Will.
vote for Will. Is that what you said for
I,
president?
I said plug for Will.
Oh, plug for Will. Uh, so
He owes that.
I appreciate this part of you that doesn't spend too much time focusing on consuming. I think that's actually very intriguing. Uh, I think that the best businessman doesn't read books. He builds businesses, right? And so I think that's kind of an awesome thing. But I think that I am curious, what does inspire you? What is it getting out and shooting? Is it, uh, you know, coffee? What,
What inspires me? Like what motivates me, or what
what,
prompts me to click the shutter button?
yeah, what creates the drive for you to get out in the morning and take photos?
Existing.
Okay.
I find it almost compulsive. I'm constantly looking. I've always been a maker ever since I was real little.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just constantly looking for beauty, and not necessarily, just things that I think are beautiful. I'm just constantly looking for how light is falling on things, or I don't know. It's just it's almost like a game in a way. I'm just looking to see if I can find a good picture out there, because I just feel like if you look for something, you're going to find it eventually. And so it's almost a thrill of the hunt type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Very awesome. What's beautiful to you about these scenes when you go out? Because a lot of people, I think a lot of photographers, what's so intriguing about your type of photography, and a lot of these Instagram accounts that have been coming up that take pictures of broken billboards and trailers and this and that, is it's something that not everybody necessarily sees beauty in until someone shows them a photo like yours. Um,
mhm,
you go, oh wait, this is something that's you kind of drive by on a road trip. You don't stop for, and so
mhm.
that makes your work very intriguing. What is it about these scenes when you go out that intrigues you?
I'm really intrigued. Okay, I'm a really shy person. I would love to take pictures of people. Um, I would love to take pictures of the people who live in these places, but I'm too shy to do it.
Mm.
I'm not going to go knock on somebody's door and bother them.
Are you an
Um,
introvert?
so I'm very much an introvert. Yes.
You're in good
Um,
company.
yes. And so I like the idea of capturing them anyway, but capturing the way they live, like on their porches. I really love to capture a good porch scene. I like to imagine the people who sit there and talk, and what they're doing and what they're talking about. And, I'm not always attracted. It's not always about it being like broken down, busted up, abandoned, sad. It's just kind of about how people have left things.
Mm.
And and usually, I like to think that they're going back to them, and that maybe it'll look a little bit different the next time. Or there's a picture that I took. It's one of the first ones I I took with my DSLR in the style, and there's a Sphinx cup and I think a broom, and I have been by that house since, and different cup and different situation, but you can just tell that somebody was out there probably sweeping their porch, having a drink, and then um, left their cup out there, or I don't know. It's just I just like to think about. It's almost like I don't want to say it's like capturing ghosts, but it's just sort of like capturing a moment that doesn't exist anymore, but still, the fact that it happened is still evident.
Sure, sure, sure. What's your process like? When you're going out? I think we maybe don't think our process of getting out and shooting is as interesting as it is to other people, but I'd be very interested to hear. You obviously tend to go out in the morning, from what I can tell from your light, and
Yeah.
yeah. And so, what's your process for getting out? How does it start?
Uh,
Does it start with coffee? I like coffee. Do you like coffee?
I love coffee.
Yay!
But you'd be very disappointed that my morning cup of coffee is almost always instant.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. And probably a year ago, I would have been like, gross. That's terrible. I don't know. Somehow I got hooked on the instant stuff. I don't know what happened, but I mean, it's quick.
Hey,
I can get out and take more pictures.
Hey, I don't think there's good or bad coffee. I think there are just different coffees for different purposes.
Yes.
And if you like it,
now,
then rock and roll.
I can go to any of the local coffee shops and have me a good cup of coffee. But I like the
so
instant stuff.
you make the local coffee shop trip a novelty. You have the horrible stuff so that every now and then you get out and just really treat yourself.
Treat myself.
Very good.
So
process.
The process. You're right about me going out in the mornings, and I also go out in the evenings a lot too. In the mornings, I have a little bit of time between when I drop off my daughter for school and then when I have to be at work. So I sometimes will take my camera with me. Sometimes I just have my phone, and I'll take a circuit. I can't say the word now. A meandering. I'll make it just a long drive. It takes me about 25 minutes to get to work, but I can turn it into 45 and still make it to work on time.
Gotcha.
I'm not late for work. And I'll drive through like the town of Conisty, and especially if there's fog, and I'll just kind of look around, see what's there, and if anything catches my eye, I take a picture of it. And I have a lot of pictures that I've never shown, but that's just it's always real quick. I don't spend a whole lot of time. It's always what I'm feeling at that moment. Something might strike me one day and not strike me the next. It's all just kind of based on how I'm feeling at the moment. And then at night, I usually have a little bit more time because I love to shoot at dusk. That's been something that I've been enjoying more and more of. And catching that blue hour for a change, because I love that golden hour. But
all about that golden hour. That's a bumper sticker right there.
Yeah.
Hashtag golden hour.
Yeah. So I'm always looking for that, but it's also interesting to see what happens once the gold is gone and replaced by the blue, and just how it kind of just devolves from there. But anyway, I'm real quick about it. Sometimes I take pictures from my car. A lot of times I take pictures from my car, roll down the window. Sometimes I'm just pointing the camera out the passenger window. I'm always safe about it. I don't, I stop and look around, make sure nobody's coming. I don't just like stop in the middle of the road. I'll turn around and go back and get out.
So far, I'm dealing with 13 lawsuits, but my photos are incredible.
Of course, yeah. It's all about that picture. So I don't know. I feel like people would be pretty disappointed. I've gone out with people. Sometimes I go out and actually walk with people. I don't like to go walking by myself very much, just because I don't know. It's just kind of that feels almost a little too lonely. I like to get in and get out sometimes. But I think people might be kind of disappointed in my process, actually, James.
Well,
There's not much of one.
it's fun. No, it's funny you say that. I think what is actually amazing about your process is how much time would you say that you have to actually take photos on any given day?
On any given day, I'd say I probably have a total of maybe 30 minutes. And it also depends on the day. On the weekends, I have all kinds of time. Um, but yeah,
That's amazing. And the reason I say that is because I think many photographers will not begin to take photography seriously for themselves because they feel like they don't have the time.
no,
And
I mean, there's time.
you're right. You make time
It
for
takes
things.
1 second to click a shutter button.
Yeah, yeah. But I think a lot of people get held up on that, and so I think that what I'm saying is you saying that and you putting that out there hopefully will help somebody actually go,
Yeah,
I got 30 minutes.
definitely.
You
Yeah,
know?
30. If you got 30 minutes, you can take 30 pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, that's being that's not even being generous. You could take a lot more than that.
You're right.
If
I
you
mean,
really
if you
wanted to. I
just
mean, digital. If you're setting up, if you got a film camera and you're trying to be a little bit more careful with the film and all that,
yeah.
but with digital, I mean,
I mean, you can
there's
just drive down the road and hold down the shutter button, and
exactly,
that's like, was that
exactly.
like 140,000 photos in 30 minutes? I mean,
Yeah,
you got something.
you got time. You got time to edit those down.
Yeah, oh, great, yeah. uh, so here's another interesting question that I would love to hear about you. What do you? So I think I think it's amazing and it's very important to have these big lofty goals for what you want your photography to be. Now, I don't necessarily mean it could be this, but I don't necessarily mean that they have to be in a gallery or something like that. But in terms of what you hope to accomplish in the future and what you kind of dream of for your photography.
I would love to see them on a gallery wall. I would love to see them fairly large, just because at this point they're so intangible. Because most of them reside on my phone. I mean, I look at them mostly on my phone. Because once I've put them into the computer, they're just. I don't know. I want that tangible, so I'd like to see them in the gallery. I'd like for people to see the details because they get lost in a format like Instagram. And when you see them printed, because I have printed a few of them, there's so much more detail that people aren't seeing, and I'd like for them to see that. Plus, I just think it'd be kind of cool, I've got a zine coming out of some of my photography that I've taken with my cell phone. Phone Home Press has that coming out, so that was a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. So I'm really grateful for that.
Cool.
I'm
all on 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, yeah. it's like an exercise program.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'd like to put out a book of my own work. I am collaborating with another local photographer. Right now, we're talking about doing a collaborative book. So that's in the works. And so, a lot of the dreams that I had are becoming realities, except for that gallery thing. I'd like, if anybody's listening, I don't really know how to make that happen. I'm really shy about putting my work on people. So sometimes I tend to wait for people to come to me, and I know I shouldn't do that, but that's the reality.
Sure.
But so yeah, I'd like to see some of the stuff printed. I'd love to shoot for like a local publication or a regional, or just I'd love to see my work in print because it's special to me, and I'd like for people to get their hands on it. I'd like for them to be able to hold it in their hands. I'd like to be able to hold it in my hands.
Yeah. So, what do you hope that your photos do achieve when somebody looks at them, even on Instagram?
Yeah, I hope they feel like a sense of maybe comfort. Somebody said something really nice the other day. Somebody who follows me said that looking at my photos was like coming home, I think is what she said. It was something along those lines, and I just thought that was really sweet. And that is, to me, yeah, I want people to just I don't know, recognize maybe something that they feel or recognize. I don't know. I just want them to feel maybe not necessarily nostalgia, but just comfort and um, I don't know, kind of like a sense of calm or peace. I think that's all I'm hoping for. I hope
Hmm. Yeah,
they
yeah.
like.
Yeah, awesome. So to circle back to what I was saying at the beginning, that to pull off your type of photography well, you have to be really strong in your fundamentals of shooting and lighting, composition, this and that. Just to be clear for everybody who's watching, she shoots her photos for her, I guess you would call it your main Instagram account, with your phone entirely, correct?
Yes, yeah. The Bud Instagram account is totally cell phone photos.
Totally cell phone.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
Everything's edited on my cell phone. I don't all that everything that's on the Bud account it's all cell phone done on cell phone. I don't. They're not even on my computer.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
yeah.
what really is so interesting about your photography from a technical standpoint? I think what makes it really speak to people on on a very subconscious level, if maybe a little bit conscious if you're a photographer and you know what's going on, is your compositions are extremely thoughtful, and I am curious, what is it in your process and in your mind that creates that? A lot of photographers don't know how to do what you do.
Oh, I don't have a good answer for this. I think it's just the way I see things. I don't know.
It's your
It's just
genius.
it is. It is. It's just my natural genius.
Yeah.
No, I just, it's just, I don't know. It's just how I see it. And sometimes it's just me goofing off. You can goof off with a camera.
Mm.
That's for sure. And so sometimes it's just me kind of playing around, like, oh, what will happen if I do this? I keep trying to break out of this. My dad's an engineer, and my mom was always like real particular about she's always she notices things like details and very detail oriented, and so I tend to kind of frame my pictures, and sometimes I feel like I'm framing them a little bit too perfectly, and so sometimes I'll purposely kind of throw it off or something, but
Mm.
just so it's not always so perfect looking, as far as centering things and stuff like that. But you're working with a little, just a box, and so I don't know. Sometimes I just like to see what I can fit in the box.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't. Sorry, I don't know how to answer that question in a way that's helpful to people because don't really. It's not something I think about.
So it's
I just
playful. It
kind of
seems to
do
be
it.
playful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely playing around.
Yeah.
Photography is fun for me, and if it ever came to the point where it wasn't fun, I'd just stop doing it.
Yeah.
But it's very fun.
Yeah.
So, and I have thousands of pictures to prove how fun I think it is.
I wish I could say that for myself. Photography is my favorite thing, and my favorite craft, I'd say,
Yes. Yes.
for me, because it's something that it's a continual, it's such a frictionless process, but it's not always fun when you're trying to get over your social anxiety to walk up to a
Oh,
random stranger on the street
yes.
and say, "Hey, can
Oh,
I take
goodness.
your phone?" But I love it,
Yes.
right? I love the challenge of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful to have photography that is also a bit more therapeutic for
Yes.
yourself.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I describe mine as that. Um, no, it's great fun.
Yeah.
It's
What
a
was you?
great break.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
Oh, it's a great 30-minute break.
say?
What, what would you say to somebody who, because there are a lot of people out there that I think don't really, they have this, little desire that always maybe nags at them to start shooting and taking photography more seriously. But one, maybe they think they don't have time, or maybe it's something else that, they have life to deal with, whatever. Or maybe it's something else. But they don't begin. They don't start. What would you say to somebody who's actually interested in pursuing photography in a serious way?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say that you don't have to take it so seriously to be serious about it, if that makes sense. You don't have to, you really don't need a whole, I mean, a cell phone will do, and that's how
Sure.
I started doing landscapes, is with my cell phone. Um, you don't need, people think that they need all this gear and all this equipment, and it's daunting because they think, well, I can't afford all the things that I need. And no, you don't need all that stuff. If you have a decent smartphone, then you can take pretty good pictures.
Mm.
There's a lot of free apps that you can use, Visco, Snapseed. I mean,
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
know if I'm
yeah.
allowed, I wasn't trying to plug, but
Are they paying
I
you?
use both
Be
of those.
honest.
They are not.
You have
They
to
are not.
disclose.
I am not being paid for that. It's just what I use. Um,
So
uh,
mostly Visco or combination of that and after
it,
what else?
it, I use Snapseed sometimes. If
Snapseed.
if sometimes Visco, the shadows are too dark, and so I'll use Snapseed to lighten up the shadows.
Oh, you need to send them an
I
email.
um, but it's just go out. I mean, you're literally just clicking a button. I mean, you can worry about all the technical stuff later, but just go out there and get used to seeing the world around you in a little box. Just get out there and try, and just try. It's just an exercise, and then you'll kind of get used to what you like. You'll just sort of develop your own style. But definitely don't be afraid of it. It's definitely nothing to fear, because that was one of the things that I found so daunting, was just the equipment and all that. And certainly with the DSLR, you do need to learn a little bit about how to use it, but that's what the internet's for.
Hmm.
I'm totally self-taught. I haven't taken a single class. Um, and not that I could, there are things that I'd like to learn, especially with film photography and processing in a darkroom and that type of thing. But just to get started don't be afraid of it. There's nothing to fear about it. It's fun, and it's very rewarding to see what you can do uh, with a camera.
Yeah.
Just get out there and do it.
I like it.
Is that
I like
helpful?
it.
Just do it.
That's oh yeah. No, that's a nice little point to end on. Just get out there and do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that for me, what I like to tell people, I completely agree with everything you just said for one, but on the flip side, I think that what what I like to push is this idea of really, building some. If you're going to take it seriously and actually grow, create some
Hmm.
sort of structure for yourself, whether that's
Hmm.
something that is for me, if there are certain challenges that I have to overcome to get out there and shoot and get enough photos, and
Hmm.
different people have those different things, but that structure is extremely important for keeping you actually creating and putting out
Yeah.
content
Yeah.
consistently. And a lot of photographers, I think, they they don't grow because they just kind of fiddle. But I think it seems like you're a very driven person on your own, and it seems like the passion you have for photography creates that structure for you. The fact that you take 30
Yeah.
minutes out of your busy day to go shoot photography tells me that you have some sort of structure, whether you call it that or not.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, it's a part of my life. My daughter's 6 years old. She's used to me having a camera in my hand. She even like points out things that she thinks I would like, or points out the light or something like that, which I love.
Oh,
That's
it's like a
very
little
rewarding.
scout, a little photo assistant.
Yeah, yeah. She's so used to it, because she knows that mommy's always, prepared to take a picture. Which is, some people will be like, "Oh, just live in the moment." I'm like, I am. This is how I live in the moment. I love this. This is great. I'm loving how this feels. But yeah, I will say that once you get out there and start playing with your camera, and kind of finding things that you like, to focus on that thing that you like, and only take things that you don't take things for other people. Don't take things because you feel like you should take. take pictures of things because you want to, because you would want to put them on your wall. If you start taking pictures for other people, you're never going to be happy. You got to do it for yourself. And focus on that, and not focus on what other people are doing, or what you think you should be doing, or just do what you feel.
Do what you feel. I like it. All right. Hashtag golden hour for the bumper sticker, and then do what you feel for the bumper sticker. And then vote for Trump on the bumper sticker as well. Same bumper sticker. Okay, very good. So my wife's shaking her head and sadness.
I bet she is. Shame on this household.
Just very important. I did not vote for Trump, just to be clear. I just want to know. Okay. So, Katie, thank you so much for making this video with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm very flattered.
This has been a lovely conversation, and I think that it's extremely valuable.
I hope so.
To the people. So
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. So, Katie, where can they find you if they want to find you easily?
The easiest way to find me is on either one of my Instagram accounts. One of them is Katie Fenske, and then the other one is Bud, but it has an unusual spelling because the second Bud is upside down, which is actually a PNQ. So BUDPNQ.
That's what that means.
Yeah,
I was very confused.
It was originally an Etsy shop of mine, which is still out there. It's been on hiatus for a while. And so that Instagram handle was because I was going to promote my jewelry shop, and then I just ended up following whatever hills for photography and started doing that.
You're taking photos of old El Caminos with covers on them instead.
Yeah, if you go way back, I mean, like if you're digging real deep into my Instagram account, the Bud one, you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, so it evolved quite a bit. So so Bud and Katie Fenske at Instagram. I don't have a website. I do have a Tumblr account. It's Katie Fenske, but I haven't updated it in a very long time.
All right. Go spam her Tumblr account.
Because I won't know.
Right. It won't bother.
I haven't logged in forever.
If you feel the need to spam somebody, Katie Fenske's Tumblr account.
Yeah, you
just
can do that.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good feel.
Awesome. All right. Very good. Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. To anybody who is watching, and feel free to ask me questions. Feel free to go ask her questions. I think. Are you cool with interactions? Okay.
Oh, yeah. As long as they're appropriate.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't ask her any inappropriate questions, like her financial status.
You can. I just don't. I might not reply, or I might surprise you and reply. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, well, that is it for this video.
I have a sense of humor.
There you go. You'll get a check in the mail. So, thank you guys for watching. This conversation could go on all day. I'm having a lot of fun, actually. So, but you're not. You guys aren't paying me, so we have to go. All right. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.